Alright, welcome back. We are at our second lesson on triangles for this unit. And this unit we are going to talk about the degrees inside a triangle. So different problems that might arise, working and dealing with how we can figure out missing pieces inside of a triangle. So specifically we are going to work on two different rules today. So the first rule is that the inside of a triangle, so the sum of the three angles inside of a triangle are equal to 180 degrees. Okay, now I'm going to do something in class that will help you a little bit more to understand why that works. But again, these three angles that are inside the triangle, so are 40 degrees, 70 degrees, and our unknown, which we'll call x, these three together have to equal 180 degrees. So we can set up a formula, and we could go x plus 40 plus 70 equals 180, and we can solve for x. So we know 40 plus 70 is 110, and then we just subtract 110 from 180, and we'll get that x is 70. So the missing piece in this triangle is 70. Alright, let's take a look at two more examples that show the same thing. So in example number 2, we're going to set up the same idea just to get the concept. If you want to try it by yourself first, that's fine. So this is going to be x, that's what we're trying to find. So the part plus part plus part is going to have to equal 180. So we could go 45 plus 105 plus x equals 180. 45 plus 105 is going to give us 150. And we're going to subtract that from 180. And so we'll get x is 30. So our missing piece is 30. Alright, if we look at the example number 3 we got here, this one is a little more complicated because as you can see we have expressions here, or x's, that are within the angles instead of just whole numbers. So it's the same idea, the things that we've been doing before when we did part plus part or part equals part. In this case, remember, we know that the whole thing has to equal 180. So these three added together are going to have to add to be 180. So you could write them all out if you wanted to. 8x minus 1 plus 3x plus 4 plus 3x plus 9 equals 180. So part plus part plus part is equal to 180. Three angles in a triangle. And from here, you know the deal. Just add them all up and solve for x. So if I add or combine my like terms, I'm going to get 8x plus 3x plus 3x, so these three go together, and I'm going to get 14x, and then I'm going to put my ones together that are not x's right here, so negative 1 plus 4 plus 9, and I'm going to get a positive 12 equals 180, and then I would subtract 12, and I'll 168 equals 14x, divide by 14, and I'm going to get that x is 12. Now just to verify this, you could plug it back in, and I'll do this one time. So if we plug the 12 back in here, I'm going to get 8 times 12 minus 1, and that's going to give me 95. I could do 3 times 12 plus 4, and that's 36 plus 4, which is 40. And this angle is 3 times 12 plus 9, which is 36 plus 9, which gives me 45. And then if I look at these three numbers, these are my angle measurements. Those three had better add up to be 180. So that's a way that you can check yourself. Alright, let's go on to the next example, and while I'm setting it up, I'll give you a minute to write things down here. So this is rule number 2. Alright, we're going to find out what the exterior angle is actually equal to. So I want to show you this on the picture here. So the exterior angle is exactly what you think it means. It's the angle that's outside the triangle. So this right here, so if let's throw a letter on here, let's call this one x. So my exterior angle here is angle ACX, I'm sorry. So ACX is your exterior angle. And we need to figure out how do we find that angle. So let's use the rules that we just had, and we knew in our last slide that inside this triangle right here, it should equal 180 degrees. So if I go 60 plus 50 equals 110, and then I subtract 180 from that, I'm going to get 70. So this is my missing piece right here, is 70, because that's my third angle. I just skipped a step, kind of did it in my head. You can do that too if you get to that level. So now I have these three angles. Now how the heck can I get that exterior angle? Well, you can see, hey, there's a linear pair right here. Look at that. See, it's going to come back to haunt you. You have to remember that vocab. So this linear pair means that these have to equal 180. So 70 plus x has to equal 180. So if I subtract 70 here, I'm going to get x equals 110. Huh. What else did you figure out was 110? The first two that you added up. So the exterior angle rule shows that the opposite two angles, 60 plus 50, should equal the exterior angle. So the exterior angle is equal to the sum of the opposite two angles. Okay, we'll do one more for you to figure it out. But again, so A plus B was 60 plus 50. If you add them together, it's 110. Okay, you could have gone about it like we did, but let me show you another example. Alright, so example number 2 here, our exterior angle is 92. Okay, it's right here at 92. So the rule we just had was that the opposite two angles, which the opposite two angles in this picture are right here. These are my opposite two angles. The y would be the linear pair, so the y is not the opposite two angles in the triangle. So these two together, the 50 plus the x, should equal 92. Again, the opposite two angles equal the exterior angle of 92. So 50 plus x should equal 92. So if I subtract 50 over here, I will get x equals 42. So this corner right here should be 42. Let's double check it just to make sure. Alright, if I looked at this as a linear pair, I would know that 180 minus 92 is going to give me 88. So this y here is going to be a measurement of 88. So does 42 plus 50 plus 88 equal 180? Let's check. Okay, if you use your calculator, cray, it does equal 180. So that's another way that you could use the exterior angle theorem. Now again, let's look at number 3, a little more difficult. So this one, we're going to look at what is the exterior angle. Okay, this right here, this is your exterior angle. So the exterior is equal to 3x minus 10. What are your opposite two angles? The opposite two angles are right here, 25 and x plus 15. So remember, the rule is that the opposite two angles, 25 plus x plus 15, should equal the opposite, or sorry, should equal the exterior angle, which is 3x minus 10. So the opposite two angles added together, the ones in the pink, should equal the exterior angle. So now it's just an equation and we solve for x. So I'm going to subtract the x here to start and combine my like terms at the same time. So I'll get 40 equals 2x minus 10, add 10, and I'll get 2x equals 50, and then x will equal 25. Okay, just to double check ourselves, let's plug her back in. So if I plug it in right here, I'm going to get 25 plus 15, and that's 40. So this corner is equal to 40 right here, and this is 25. Let's plug it in here. 25 times 3 minus 10 is 75 minus 10, which is 65. So does the inside two angles, 25 plus 40, equal 65? Yes, it does. So you did it correctly. Nice job. All right, one last thing here. I had someone who wanted to say Happy Halloween. I know it's a little late, but I had promised that I would show you what Jordan wore for Christmas. So Happy Halloween, everyone.